All right, so let's talk about validation and why people seek it. So, first, you have to understand that humans are very social creatures, and a lot of them don't like to stand out. And the reason they don't like to stand out is because they don't really believe in their self worth and they don't believe in the fact that they can be successful or important or valued on their own. So they seek out individuals who they think have bigger self worth than they do, and then they seek validation from them, right? The reason they ask for this for validation is because they want their actions or thoughts to be approved so that they don't feel like they're insane or they're going crazy or they're not doing anything weird that would be a threat to their survival in the pack, right? So you can go both ways. You can either validate the person and make them feel good about themselves, make them believe in themselves, and then make them more comfortable around you because now they subconsciously and consciously feel like they can trust you. So you just want someone's trust. Or you cannot validate them, and if you don't validate them, in fact, it's kind of strange because if you don't validate them, they're going to seek your validation even more, so they're going to be chasing your validation more. So the less you validate them, the more of a higher status they think of you, right? Because think about it, when you validate people all the time, they become less responsive to it. For example, girls, if you compliment girls all the time or you validate them, you give them approval, these become less responsive to it. They're gonna start think that they're above you. They're gonna think of you as a fan and that you are, and then she is the queen, right? But if you don't give her as much validation, then she's going to be chasing it, right? She's not gonna get bored of you, and she's not gonna think of you as a desperate guy. So you do have that power over people, right? Another thing, if it's your friend and you know that your friend is very good at taking advice and constructive criticism, then you can find a situation when he or she is asking for validation and you can just not give them any validation but tell them that you don't need any validation and then explain why. That way, your friend or your friend or girlfriend, whatever, can learn how to validate themselves on their own, and therefore they don't need anyone else's validation. However, if your friend cannot take constructive criticism, then they, it can happen that that friend is going to start to resent you because they're gonna think you're either better than them, maybe you're smarter than them, maybe that what you said is personal, right? And that because you're friends, you should be validating each other and helping each other all the time and blah blah blah, instead of making yourself stronger. You don't like when you're around people, especially your friends, you want to be making each other stronger rather than comfortable, if you know what I mean, right? And another thing is that if you want to be successful, if you have goals that you want to pursue and be very good at and want to be happy doing it, you need to learn how to validate yourself even if things are going wrong. Because think about it, people who get high on others people approval also get very low when somebody doesn't approve them. So for example, if somebody compliments you and you get high on it, you think you're the king of the world, and then somebody comes around and like starts shit talking you, you're going to take it to the heart. So you need to learn how to not take either to the heart. You need to accept it, but agree with it or not agree with it, right? So for example, somebody compliments you, accept the compliment, be grateful for it, but don't take it to the heart because it doesn't define you, because you know that you are the one who defines you, right? But if somebody comes around and says something stupid shit to you, accept the fact that the person that is either coming from being hurt, a person is coming from jealousy or whatever, right? But don't agree with it because you know you're not that. You're not that, unless you're being toxic in the moment and they're trying to like call you out, then maybe think about it, but that's a different video. So Validation is a very interesting thing. You have power over people who constantly ask validation, but don't take advantage of them. Teach them how to be strong in themselves. Teach them how to find self-worth in their own actions and their thoughts, how to be valuable to themselves by themselves. Help people to help themselves. Alright, I'll see you in the next video.